to liken our characters to another saga, it'd be Star Wars, and Sam would be sort of the Luke Skywalker character, and Dean would be sort of the Han Solo character. Purely its storytelling elements. I feel like what I've been given a chance, and in all fairness, Sam cares about people. No, it's funny. But I feel like, in all fairness, Mark Hamill got 7 hours to tell Luke Skywalker's story. I've had 245 hours to tell Sam's story. But I think we've really, with help from the writers and the directors, we've seen Sam really care about other people. I think in Star Wars, just to purely use the lines of the story, Star Wars was a lot about Luke Skywalker, his journey. He didn't really have time for other people's journeys, but we've seen Sam Winchester really get involved in other people's trials and tribulations. And I hope I was a part of that. I hope my personality maybe helped guide the writers to write Sam like that. And almost on a similar note, I feel like the swashbuckling, handsome, roguish hero that would have been Han Solo, and Joseph Campbell identified archetypes for Star Wars, but was Dean Winchester. I feel like Dean's brought a vulnerability and a humanism to Dean Winchester that we don't see outside of Supernatural.
I'll start with what he brings. Intelligence. Which is an interesting facet of Sam Winchester, because a lot of times he is kind of the brooding, reluctant hero. But there is, I think Jared has filtered in this layer of high intelligence throughout the 12 seasons that I'm not sure I know many actors that could have layered that in so delicately. So, forget everything you've heard. And then for, what was the other part? What I think I brought to Dean is ruggedly handsome good looks. And his ability to crackball.
I think the comedy, comedy with Dean, it was roguish, but it wasn't. I mean, I feel like, in all fairness, I feel like there are a lot of cogs in this wheel, and if any one was missing, the wheel would collapse. But I feel like Jensen didn't have such a mastery of comedic elements.
Master is a strong word.
I'll never say this in front of him, but if he didn't have such ability, I'm trying to use big words in this understanding. Like, if he didn't have such a wonderful mastery of the comedic side of the scripts, that Supernatural would be so bogged down in all that's dramatic, that we wouldn't be here today talking to you guys about season 12 and working tomorrow on season 12. Thank you very much. Cheers.
All right. Yeah. Aww, yeah. Every now and again, a compliment slips out. Don't let it ruin what you think about us.
Erase your comments.
Hi.
Hello. I'm asking this for my friend Robin. And she's always going on about how perfect you guys are.
Carry on. Where is Robin? Robin, are you here?
She's not here, she can't afford to come, so I'm asking this for her. Yeah, and I'm trying to prove her wrong because I know you're a human like every one of us, right? And so my question is... So my question is, do you have funny shaped toes?
I misunderstood the question, what? No, Jared doesn't have funny shaped toes. Because they're not toes. They're a second set of hands. You could rip his arms off and he would still get through life fine. See this coffee cup down here, where my feet are? If those weren't on, he would just use them to drink.
So, I don't know if I'm in funny shape, but my second toe is as long as my pinky, and my pinky's pretty long. And you'll see a lot of it in episode 2.
It's known as the feet episode.
Juries of the toe.
Why are you giving me more toes? Hey, scoot over. Scoot over. So where? This is horrible staging. We're blocking the... No, we're blocking Billy. Billy seems like a nice guy.
Billy's been throwing shit at Jensen this whole time.
But
all these pics. So not funny shaped, but a bit larger than average.
it's good at easing things out.
It's all balance. Thank you very much.
And thank you.
For that trip down a horrible way.
Hi.
Hi there. One of the things that I think that
I think we're needed.
Is that Baby Manzano?
Is it? Was that a Wendigo? It's like a Wendigo, Banshee, alien, ghoul, goblin, prowling.
Jose, is that your baby?
Where's Rosie?
Oh,
Okay, now.
Baby Manzano's quiet right now. I'm about to go all Donald Trump and kick that baby out. I'm just kidding, I love babies. Babies are great. Babies love me.
I love it when I'm
We're gonna make babies great again.
The baby can stay.
Where were we? Hi.
that's exactly what I was going to talk about. Is
Babies? Are you babies?
babies, Jensen's babies, and your babies. How I think what we all love the most is how you guys are one big family and go out together and spend time together. And like what a restaurant visit would be like with our kids now, and do they behave? And what it's going to be like with twins. I know from experience that restaurants with kids can be tough. So, yeah.
I think Jensen has the best story for this. What's when the kids all go out together? I don't think I was there for it. Were you there for it? Or was it just Jen and me?
Which one? We got into a war with, I don't honestly know what story you're talking about. Oh yeah. That wasn't in a restaurant though. That's why I wasn't remembering it. Yes. Well, I think I may have told the story, but they were together and they were outside of this little play area, the three of them, and there was like some like Nerf type of toys around, and Sheppy had picked one up, and somebody came up, an older kid came up and ripped it away from Sheppy, and he didn't like that very much. And so JJ came over and ripped it out of that kid's hands. And then the kid ripped it, and the kid was a couple years older than JJ. He ripped it out of her hands, and I'm watching him like this is gonna. And then before I could even like get up and get over there, JJ just goes, boom! And then I think Tom like came in and was like about to start kicking it. I'm like, whoa, whoa! It was like a 2.5 to 3-year-old game fight. Yeah, JJ refers to Tom and Shep as her boys. So boys.
They all have matching tattoos. It's a skull and crossbones.
Yeah, little did we know that was actually an initiation. Dinners can be tough, as anybody with young children can attest. It's going to get really tricky when there's two. However, when JJ was a baby up until she was probably 6 months, don't judge, we just slide her underneath the table. Out like a light, and we have a nice dinner. So we're cool for a little while, but once that doesn't work, then we do have the tranquilizer, also known as the iPad, which we don't like to use too often, but it isn't necessary.
Game changer.
I do remember we were just the other day. Danielle had brought her headphones, and we were in a loud, crowded place, and JD was starting to, we were blowing right through nap time, and we were on borrowed time. She was about to have a full meltdown, so boom, out came the iPad, and Danielle quickly plugged her headphones in and slapped them on JJ, and she was cool and content. They were in the grocery store, and this dad with like 2 young daughters comes walking by and goes, "That baby has Beats headphones." I had this reaction that kind of scared me, where I was like, "What'd you say?" Like, I was instantly angered at. And I didn't say that, but it was the look of like, say one more thing, and I'm like, and it's on. He didn't, he walked away. But it's going to be tricky. I don't think that we're going to be doing a whole lot of like eating out with the children as much as we'd like to. There's probably going to be a whole network of babysitters and family that help us out. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, any takers?
In that case. Well, thank you very much.
So you guys are 2 Texan boys who were brought up to do this show in Vancouver. And Americans and Canadians do have a lot in common, but we also have a lot of cultural differences. And I was wondering if there were any examples of things that you guys found odd or unusual coming up here and working with your amazing Canadian crew.
We have a different name for the last shot of the day. When you're filming and when you're in America and you're filming the last shot of the day, we call it martini. Here it's called the window. That was probably the first thing that struck me. We're like, it's the window shot. And I was like, what is that? And in America, they called it martini because it meant that as soon as the shot was over, you were having a martini. And in Canada, it was called the window because it meant after the shot, you're going to the window to get the paycheck.
Now, I believe, and I'm not 100% certain, so don't quote me on this, but the shot before the last shot is called the Abbey Singer, or the Abbey, in both places. And Abbey Singer is an old director, and he used to, I believe, leave for the second to last shot to go make his martini, and then come back for the last shot with his martini, which I believe is where they got the term, the Abbey and the martini.
He was a very good man.
He was. Yeah, there's a lot of terminology that's different. Where all the trucks are parked is called base camp in the States, and here it's called circus. So there's a lot of terminology, and then also, there's different pronunciations. Stickers on your car are called decal. Up here they're called a decal.
Gravy is called gravy, not poutine. I like to wear beanies, not toques. We call it ice skating, not hockey.
I'm just looking for like clocks that are going to be shot. I will say, however, one thing that I don't need to do the conversion from Celsius to Fahrenheit anymore. I know what that's certainly one thing. And I will say, this is one thing that always kind of struck me on, is that, it makes sense, I guess, when you're talking about the economy and all that stuff, but Canadians seem to know a lot more about American politics than any American knows about Canadian. I'm seeing Trump and Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton bumper stickers up here with British Columbia plates on them. Why? I mean, but it's that's interesting to think that.
You mean they don't have Christy Clark stickers?
I honestly didn't.
Rob Ford?
Rob Ford. However, with all the slight subtle differences that make us a little different than Canadians, it is a wonderful place with wonderful people, and we've been privileged to be working here for 12 years.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. So, I do a lot of improv. So my question is...
You what?
Sorry?
That was my question.
I apologize.
Sorry?
You can talk Canadian. Anyway, how much improv is in the average scene, and how do you know when to put that in, as opposed to just kind of following what's written?
There's more improv in the rehearsal and the staging of the scene. So that the big difference is with TV, if we're doing a scene and we shoot the master and it's, hey, what are you doing? I'm going to the store. We just went to the store. We forgot apples. You don't like apples? Yeah, well, I gotta go. And then he leaves. It's like, you shoot it, you move on. Now it's this coverage. And he goes, I say, where are you going? I'm going to the store. We just went to the store. Yeah, we forgot apples, and I also wanted to get a magazine, and blah, blah, blah. Well, you don't like magazines, but you can't cut. Once you've done the master of a scene, you can't change it. Because otherwise, he's going to have lines that I don't have any line to. So he might have the most amazing improv line in the world, but there's no response.
Unless you're really good. And you make sure that they give a reaction to something that then you can keep in your back pocket and wait until your coverage to unload.
Yeah, there it goes. But for the most part, the improv is figured out early on. In the blocking, we regularly kind of make things work for us, even better than they maybe work on the page, which is amazing.
I would say it's less about just making up stuff off the cuff while the cameras are rolling, and more about kind of massaging a scene and making it sound a little, changing a word here, moving a line there. There was one scene we did last year where Jared and I were reading it, and we just had this, it wasn't feeling right. It was clunky. There was the characterization behind the lines weren't right, and it was just, something was off. And I think it was you. He was like, I don't have to do that. Hey, I'll take credit for it.
No, I want credit.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you're blaming me, but I'll take it.
No, it's credit.
I'll take it. Yeah, that's me, guys.
He said, hey, humor me. Let's switch all of our lines. And it was like, it should have been. It read the way that, a Dean Sands, a fish named Dean, should sound. So there are instances during the show where, we will get ideas, we will add those to the scene, we will do some sort of
In improv, I think in our world, isn't the classic that we think, like, hey, this is a scene where we're sitting on a table, but now I'm gonna get up and like unplug the speaker wire, and now I'm gonna go run through the audience. Like, that cannot happen, just logistically. But there are things like, even on Friday, when we are shooting now with one of our newest and most favorite directors, Nina Lopez-Guarano. We all know that she shot that beat last year. And she's directing, and we have this idea involving bean and pie. And it wasn't written in the script per se, but it also wasn't, I think at this point in time, there's not a writer on Supernatural who has known Sam Winchester or Dean Winchester as long as Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles have known Sam Winchester and Dean Winchester. And so they leave a lot open for us to not embellish or improv, but to improve or to make little nuances, but are true to who Sam has been for 12 years, true to who Dean has been for 12 years. And so there was something that's going to be the first scene of episode 5 that we just shot on Friday. If you guys decide to watch episode 5 this year, the first scene with us, there's some high stuff, and just know that it came from Jared and Jensen. Thank you. Hi.
Hello. There's a lot of action shows on the CW now that have lots of fight scenes, and that they're often, the superheroes are very choreographed, whereas Supernatural stayed with that really gritty, often quite brutal fight and action. I love that about the show. What have been some of the more either enjoyable or challenging action scenes that you've done in recent times? Fight scenes or...
It's a great question. I have a question for you. Do you know anything about, like, websites? What website would you say we should go to if we want to find something about Supernatural?
Well, there's Busty Asian Beauty.
No?
You can try the supernaturalwiki.com.
For those of you who are new to the family, if y'all do not know supernaturalwiki.com, then you should know, and you should give her a round of applause. Where'd my mic go?
I broke it.
I should not. I'm on the show, and I'm on it more than once a week researching, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe.
Action scenes.
Actually, you just brought up Red Meat. I would say that was one of the more brutal fight sequences that we've done in recent years. Was that opening scene with the vampires? That's what I said. That's Yeah.
Of you were listening.
I'll just check the wikis.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, hang on, let me look at Super Wiki. That was a very long, grueling shoot.
Very, very long. That scene was a very long grueling
It
shoot.
was
It was a
heavy.
full day, and it was like 14 hours of resetting and changing from a shirt that didn't have blood on it to a shirt that had blood on it, squibs, and the gunfight, and there's a huge fight scene with knives, and
Then there's like pulling the bullet out, and sutures, and bandages, and cutting down the victims, and getting them wrapped up, and then getting everybody together, and finding the key. There were so many elements. I remember reading that scene going, this is a really, really awesome scene. It's gonna suck to shoot. And it did, however, Nina, God love her, came in and just nailed it. She
Thank
did,
God.
yeah, because that could have been.
it was also one of those scenes where I think Ackles and I both read it going like, this is gonna suck. And it probably sucked a skosh more for me because I was the one who was shot and was doing the shaky sort of like bandage on the thing, but he still was having to go cut down the other victims and carry them and take stuff over to me, and it was like prop hell, it was special effects hell, it was visual effects hell, but I think because Nina did such a great job, we knew we were doing what was necessary. There's a funny tipping point with directors where if you feel like they don't know what the hell they're doing, that the actors start protecting themselves and holding back. So if I'm with a director, and we've had a few, where I feel like they don't know what they're doing.
Like had a few?
We've had a few where I just go like, God, they don't know what they're doing. I better just protect myself, because I'm going to be doing this for hours. With Nina, she was moving, she got something, she moved on, she told us, here's where this shot's going to come in, yada yada. And so I felt like I was in really good hands. And that was one of the bigger episodes of the season. I know we had big, massive episodes of God and the Darkness, but as far as like the independent lore, the fight scenes, Sam getting shot in the gut and dying while Dean kind of pseudo dies.
Both characters died.
Both characters died. I mean, it was a huge, huge, huge episode. And for a director who had only one other episode of television directing, and this is her first Supernatural, so we can't give her enough credit. But it was a great script, and I know Jensen and I worked our asses off on it, but I feel like he's right, that scene going from like a crazy fight scene to a weird special effects scene really felt like this is where we shine. So,
It felt like what Kripke used to call a mini horror movie of the week. It really had that depth to it.
And we love those
I did have to work. Because I'm going to Supernatural week when I get home, so that's all. Hello.
I'm super nervous, though, at con.
We're Supernatural.
So, it's my first con, and I had 0 questions, except I thought of something when I was coming in and on the boards where you sell your pictures and everything. I noticed that Jensen sells out super fast. So do you guys have any like friendly competition or betting as to who's going to sell it this time? Or is it like congratulations?
Well, yeah, we started betting early on, and now I'm kind of really, backing myself into a corner here because I buy them all. So I have thousands of photos of myself just so I can win a bet. It really backfired on me.
It's a nice collage.
It really backfired on me. One day I'll give them all to Jared.
That's a great idea.
Mark Shepard's car.
Yes. Yeah. I'll reupholster Mark Shepard's car.
I'm not having found out. It's a good time.
Believe this press conference.
What's that supposed to mean?
All right.
Okay.
Not if you ate the salmon.
At least his breath smells good. No, there's no competitiveness when it comes to that kind of stuff. It is what it is, and I think he and I are both just thrilled to be selling a picture. So I think those are the kind of things that if you're smart about your friendships, you leave those things alone. Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Awesome.
That's good, me too, I'm a little nervous. This is actually my first convention, and we're having a lot of fun. My friend, yeah. My friend
That was great.
And action. We're good. How are you?
Good. This is our first convention, and
awesome.
We're really excited.
Awesome.
Yeah. So excited.
Calm it down over there. Security.
So anyway.
I'm wondering, you guys are celebrities and all. Are there...
You don't know this?
They're like, you're not celebrities.
So anyway.
So anyway, yeah. First mention, and happy for you guys, celebrities group.
This is what we do.
You may possibly be my favorite person on the face of the planet.
You may be my favorite person. Thanks.
So I'm wondering, is there another celebrity out there that will leave you guys like this? Who is it? Have you met them? How'd it go? Or if you haven't met them, who is it and why would you be like this?
Well, I don't hold my cool as well as you are. Okay.
That is amazing. So, some of you may have heard this story. We go to a fundraising charity event, a very small, intimate concert with Eddie Vedder. And it's at someone's house in their backyard.
Literally.
And so we go, and we have no business. We are not nearly the celebrity that needed to walk through this door. But somehow we managed to get our way, to find our way in. So we'll go in, sit down, listen to the concert. He's a massive Pearl Jam fan. And
Woo.
So after the concert, and they were serving drinks during the concert. And, we had.
Yeah.
Jared was imbibing, as one does, as we were, and after the concert, we had an opportunity to meet him, and he was standing there.
Like Adam Sandler.
Yeah, we had no business there. So I'm standing there talking to a couple of people, and Eddie walks up and kind of joins the conversation, and I shut down. But
He's
still,
like, Eddie, boo.
Eddie, love the concert. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, yeah, just shut it down. Just play cool, play cool. Eddie brings better. And so then I guess Jared sees this as his opportunity. And he comes kind of stumbling over.
I'll do it. I'm having a conversation. Look over, I see Jensen. Better's there.
And then it got bad. Because then Jared goes, "What are you drinking?" And I don't even know what it was. But Jared goes, "Can I try it?" And then he just goes, and it hangs up, and Jared is just like, "Da-da." And then he's like, "You can keep it." And that's when I grab Jared and I go, right to the door, right to the parking lot, in the car, and I've never had a reaction like that. If I see a famous person, I generally try to avoid at all cost. I don't know what that is. It's like, oh, there's so-and-so. All right, I'm going over here. I don't know what that is. It's just like, self-preservation maybe? I remember we were in Rome, the Rome convention this past year. We were at we were at sitting in a restaurant outside, and all of a sudden, here comes Kristen Wiig. Walks right up to the table, and this is where my mind goes. I don't even know who she knew. She knew somebody that we were sitting with, and comes up and says,
Oh, Felicia.
Felicia.
That was last
So Felicia Day was it?
That was last year.
That was last year?
It was Felicia.
Yeah. So Felicia, so she walks up and starts talking to Felicia, and I just go and shut down mode. Because I like me some Kristen Wiig. I do. And Felicia's like, "This is Jensen." I'm like, "Mm-hmm."
Wrong hand, Jensen, wrong hand.
I'm like, "That's what they call me." And Felicia just does one of these. I'm sorry. And then gets up and takes her and walks her away from the moron.
You Ryan Lochte, Kristen Wiig. This is my friend Jensen Ackles. Jensen D. Ackles. Jensen Ackles.
Hola. Jensen, we're in Italy. Yep.
So you.
Oh, it was bad. So I don't know. You never know. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is probably the scariest thing I've ever done. So what's the scariest thing you've done ever?
Try to introduce myself to Christopher Wade. Scariest thing I've ever done.
Having twins.
Yeah, it's about to happen.
Twins is not that bad.
All right.
Yeah, we saw you. You seem crazy. That's a really good question. I wish I knew. I think I have a weird fight or flight sort of survival mechanism where when I'm really scared, for the most part my brain shuts off. Like I know that Eddie Vedder thing happened. I don't necessarily follow it.
I was so mad the next day because, like, we were talking and no, he didn't meet Eddie Vedder. He embarrassed himself in front of us.
I have an Eddie Vedder story too. That's awesome. We gotta talk about this later.
Well, so here's the problem. I was talking to the person who was in charge of his, I think it was his manager, and
Why didn't you tell me that?
I didn't tell you. And she was like, hey, listen, we're gonna wait till most everybody clears out. You guys are welcome to stay and hang with Eddie and some of the other fellas down. And we're gonna probably just jam out and just hang out. And then that's when Jared fell onto me. And I decided that it's best I get him out of here and say someplace.
I never heard the story.
Oh, man, anger for days afterwards. I'm nuts here.
We also got backstage. So one of Pearl Jam's publicists or something was a fan of Supernatural, and they had shown Vancouver many years ago, and we got backstage passes. And so I was going with my girlfriend at the time, maybe my wife. And we walked in holding hands, and then all of a sudden she's like, baby. And I'm like, what? She's like, ow. What? She's like, quit squeezing my hand. And I was like, I'm sorry. That's just Michael Creedy over there. Apparently we walked in, and I was like, zzz. And she's like, ow, baby, calm down. What? Sorry.
But then he did the, and I'm not overplaying this. He did the, should I probably guess I should introduce myself, or should I just like go say hi? You know what, I'll wait till he comes this way. No, I'll go out there. Hang back and talk a little through just what should I do? Should I go over there right now? No, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go. What's that?
He ended up going.
Yeah, I think you ended up introducing yourself, and with all of us over there going like,
It's really fun to be the 6'4" sweaty dude. We're trying to like introduce yourself to somebody as you walk in, be like, hey,
what is your better story?
I met him twice. One time at Lollapalooza in 1992. Like the first one, the second Lollapalooza ever. I was just like, he was walking around. Like they were not that well known. He's walking around. I was like, hey, and I was like, yeah, I got your autograph. And he's like, no. We're like, how about a picture? And he's like, no, man, no, but like, I'll remember you, man. I'll remember you. So now every second show I go to, I'm like, the second story is that I went to see his solo show and we got backstage passes. And actually, I was with a friend of Ben Harper's who opened up for him. So I went with Ben Harper, who I just met too, and Eddie in Eddie's dressing room. Everybody cleared out. It's Eddie, Ben, my friend, and like one other person.
And you're just like urinating all over.
So it's like me, a person I didn't know, and Eddie.
I'm Eddie?
And Eddie's talking to somebody else, and I was like, I gotta have a conversation with I gotta talk to him. I haven't said anything yet, so I was
Please tell me you asked this person to move.
so I just wanna go, you asking for a cigarette? Because he's had a cigarette. And she was like, why are you asking yourself? I was like, I'm shy. And then, hey, talking this way, right? Goes like this, to his pack of cigarettes, he was like, so he heard me! I'm just as bad as Jared, but it's really fast, you know what I mean? Then we can still hold it high, you know what I mean?
Well, what you didn't see is when you turned and left the dressing room, he looked at you and went, because he's that cool.
I'm not It's so short too, that's not like it.
He was like, wait, didn't you used to have a beard? Is this that magical time?
It's that magical time.
Lesbian family, say hi to, it was loud, Emilia? Emilia! It was very loud, sure. You have Kim and mine, and Jensen's.
It's like a press conference.
Do you feel like the president?
No.
You need more microphones? So you are the last question. So we are looking forward to your, I guess that's a good word for it, question.
So, Supernatural is all about family. Adopted family? Or like direct bloodlines? So I was wondering if like a spin-off could ever be about Halloween's continued family.
As long as we don't talk about bloodlines.
So, the question one question.
All in all, we... Could a spin-off go about our extended family? That would mean Supernatural would have to end.
No.
How dare you?
What about a long time from now?
No!
When do y'all think Sam and Dean...
That one's got legs. Thank you.
When do y'all think Sam and Dean should retire? Season 13?
You said season 30.
I still heard only knows.
Fighting demons with canes!
Fighting Demons with King.
Who would you like to see a spin-off with?
Well, I'd like to see like anything like Sam and Dean when they're older, like
Sam and Dean.
Who?
Okay, who could you see a spin on?
If we ever get older and have children, whether it be daughters and sons, or adopt children, like the begin, children who were raised by their parents, whether they were killed or monsters.
Like Children of the Corn. See where you're going with this. Oddly enough, this year I believe we're going to venture into the hunter's world a little more than we normally have. And not to like try to plant a seed for any kind of a spin-off or anything like that. I think just literally we've never really explored it, the network that exists out there. So there may be opportunity for some very beloved characters to come our way. However, there are already very beloved characters. I'm just saying. Your daughter does have a nice ring to it. I would like to see, however, all kidding aside, I would love to see something more happen from what this show has created. I'd like to see it go on, whether it's a feature, whether it's another show inspired by the characters of this show, whether it is a full spin-off, whatever it is. I'd love to see this family continue to have something in their life.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
In this
Whether it's a feature without Sam and Dean or a spin-off without Sam and Dean.
Or maybe it's a fishing show.
This is the best show.
All right. My fault.
Emilia, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. That was our last question. I think that was the last question. That was the last question. You know what that was? It was the last question. This is our second home, and we couldn't be more proud to call it that. Thank you all for those of you who traveled here. Have a very safe trip home for those of you who live here. Thank you for letting us be such a guest in your city. Jared Cadillac, ladies and gentlemen.